Hello,
Hi,
my name's Carmela Hatch,
and my name is Cameron Harity.
and we work for the Duluth Public Library as early literacy specialists, which means we work a lot with children 0 to 5 and their caregivers. And we lead Every Child Ready Duluth, which is the library's focus on improving school readiness for our kids in Duluth. So we work with a lot of community partners to help support families, children, and educators all across the city to help get our kids ready to learn when they enter kindergarten. We also, as part of these videos, a lot of the information that we share comes from Every Child Ready to Read, which is a national organization that has a parent education initiative surrounding early literacy. And one of our strongest partners with Every Child Ready Duluth is the Northland Foundation. They have been a great supporter of our initiative. And as part of our partnership, we are creating this series of videos to share with you about building early literacy skills with the little ones in your lives so that you can help them on their road to improving school readiness and just getting ready for life. So we have a whole series of videos that we're creating. The first one that we made explains a little bit more about what early literacy is and how children learn to read and things like that. And then the rest of the videos will each talk about a different aspect of early literacy. I'm going to share my screen here, pull this little slides that we have up. All right. So that's today. Just a little recap. This is the Ready 5. These are kind of our little characters, little guides to help us remember what those 5 early literacy practices are. So we have talk-osaurus, sing horse, write-osaurus, read squirrel, and play-to-puss. That will help. So each video kind of focuses on one of these skills as we go along. First and foremost, the most important thing with any of these practices or anything that you're helping your children with is that children really learn best by doing, and they love doing things with the grown-ups in their lives that they trust, and that is you. They really need that interaction with their trusted adults before they can ever learn new things. They need to feel safe and they need to feel loved, and take a moment to give yourself some credit. You're already doing that. So you're doing the most important thing possible in their lives by spending time with them. And so today we're going to talk about how singing with children is a really great way to build their early literacy skills and a lot of other great skills. And we'll give you some fun examples of different songs and different things that you can try out with the children that you care for.
Why is it so important to sing with children? First, it is so important because it is building language development and building reading skills. Especially for newborns, the most comforting sounds in their world is the voice of a caregiver. You don't have to know many songs. You can sing anything. While making a grocery list, sing your favorite songs on the radio, or even sing about your feelings and even your frustrations to the baby. Singing together promotes self-regulation and lullabies soothe babies. Singing while cuddled up or bouncing in your lap creates and confirms connection between you and the child, promoting strong attachments, which is the most important thing. Emotions, you can sing about your feelings. Music itself evokes emotion and you can sing about it. A recent study found that babies as young as 5 months can, and in certain situations, discriminate between happy and sad musical excerpts. Singing also builds self-esteem. We're going to show you this video of this little one and his mom.
Mommy's going to sing you a song. You want Mommy to sing a song, honey? Let me know how you feel about the song, okay? I don't want you to come round here no more. I beg you for mercy. You don't know how strong my weakness is, or how much it hurts me. 'Cause when you say it's over with her, I want to believe it's true. So I let you in, knowing tomorrow I'm gonna wake up missing you, wake up missing you, when the one you love's in love with someone else. Don't you know it's torture? I mean, it's a living hell. No matter how I try to convince myself, this time I won't lose control. So I let you in, knowing tomorrow I'm gonna wake up missing you, wake up missing you. Oh, you feel the pain in the song, yeah, honey. Big tears. You crying? Oh, you crying, monkey. Okay, mommy's done.
Well, yeah, we share that video just because I think it demonstrates that way that babies can feel the tone of a song. I mean, it's hard to say exactly what that baby is thinking or feeling, but clearly feeling some emotion coming out of that situation, just from the tune of the song, which is just pretty wild. So other things that singing does, and is why it's important, as we mentioned, language development is a big part of why singing is great for kids. It obviously helps to build vocabulary. Songs often include a lot of really interesting or different words than we would use in normal conversation. It practices that communication skills if of back and forth response. Especially when older infants and toddlers start to babble along with the song. And you can kind of sing back and forth with them and practice a little bit of that serve and return that we mentioned in the talk video. A lot of songs have, nonsense words, which can seem, some people think it's just kind of silly, but really what that's doing is building up their vocal muscles. So anytime they're really trying to singing and getting those sounds out, they're practicing that so that they have a stronger ability to speak. It has been seen that a lot of children that have like a speech impediment or a stutter will actually be able to sing better than they will be able to speak because they're building those muscles, which is pretty cool. Also, singing helps them to, build those connections between the words that they're hearing and saying and the world around them. You can sing about just about anything to help develop language. Now we're gonna take a bath and you can sit and make a splash. Like, this is the way I chop the carrots, chop the carrots, chop the carrots. That tune gets me through lots of things in the day. Which is silly, but it's just playing with words, which is great. Lots of songs, obviously, like the ABC song or counting songs, help identify letters and other concepts. Because we remember things better if we sing them to a tune. I know, just from being in school, I remember that trick. There are weird lists of things I still remember from elementary school because I sang them, which is why we put concepts and letters and things to a tune. It helps us to remember them, which is great. So we have a little activity here. Thinking about how when you sing something, you remember it. Everyone knows the alphabet song generally, but it's one of the first tunes we learn. But it's funny how when you're singing that, sometimes it groups letters in funny ways that if you're not kind of looking at all the letters, children aren't necessarily making the connection of what those are. The classic example being elemento, right? Like I remember being like, what's an elemento? And then until you break it down, oh, those are 4 separate letters. So another fun way to play with the ABCs is to try to sing them to a different tune, which is tricky. And that's why we've written the letters on the screen so that we can make sure we hit them all. So we're going to try doing it now to Mary Had a Little Lamb, and you can try to sing along. So I'm going to remember the tune here. So Mary had a little lamb. Okay, so we're going to start from the beginning with A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. All right, we got it. It's a fun little trick game for your brain. And it can be a fun way to just kind of reinforce that concept of the alphabet, hearing them broken up in a different way.
Phonemic awareness is a fancy way to say breaking up words into their smaller sounds, or phonemes. In songs, there's often a different note for each syllable. The rhythm also breaks up words into smaller sounds. Most children's songs have rhymes in them. Learning to rhyme is a crucial early literacy skill, and rhymes also help them remember the words in a song or story. Singing slows down speech patterns, and kids can break the words down easier too. All of these things involved in singing can help a child learn to read in the future. When a child goes on to read a word twinkle and if their grown up is singing that song, they have it in the back of their minds how those sounds are broken down so they can decode that word. And they're more likely to understand the meaning of the word because they've heard it and sung it in a context.
Okay, I'm going to stop the share here for a minute so that Cameron can share a little bit more about phonemes with this fun book.
So here's this book, Llama Phonemes, and I'm going to get a little closer. It's by Janique Coate. So you can see on this first page that there's two llamas, and one has glasses on and one is at sea. So it's the two different versions of the word sea. We move on to the two words that sound alike called rose, a flower, and rows of lines. So I think phonemes are really fun, and I think it's a really great way to show a child an example of how words are so interesting. We have a pale llama. We feel kind of pale in this January weather, and then we have a pail on their head. Okay, one more. We have a llama that's shaped like a pear, and then there's two llamas to make a pear. All right, so from that example, you can see how it's fun to play with phonemes.
That's a great way. You think about in songs too, sometimes kids hear words and don't always know what they mean, or you're singing about, to see the sea, or those funny songs that kind of play with phonemes like that. So a book like that's a great way to illustrate that to kids, help them see the differences. All right, I'm going to pull the slides back up here, and we're going to talk a little bit more. We have another fun example of some of what Cameron was just talking about, which is how singing slows down language. There we go. So with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, I like to use this little quick example of how, in the last video, we talked about how talking with children is really important. But the beauty of singing is that it helps slow those words down so they can hear all the parts. So I'm going to speak the first two lines, and you can do it with me if you want. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. It's probably how I'd say that in normal speech. But then if we were to sing it, it would be twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So you can hear that slowed way down. It's breaking up those two-syllable words into two parts. So that is just awesome. Awesome for little learners to hear that. Okay, why else do we sing with kids? We sing because it's fun. I mean, right? And we know that the more fun that children are having, the more they're going to learn. So the more we can make it fun for them to play with language and different concepts, the more likely they are to remember it and repeat those things. Being silly leads to us playing with them in different ways, which I mentioned. Play really is the best way that children learn. So the more we can be silly and have fun, the more they'll learn. And I like to mention repetition is great. Songs have a lot of repetition of words and tunes, And that repetition just continues to build the pathways or synapses in their brain. And maybe it will be comfort for you to know that when your child sings that song over and over and over again, and you're ready to pull your hair out, it's still good. They're learning a lot from that really obnoxious moment. They're just building up lots of pathways in their brain with those sounds and those rhymes, and that might drive you nuts, but it might lead to an easier time reading. And also we sing so we can dance.
Yeah, singing while you dance is a lot of fun. Adding movement into songs can help children feel the rhythm and words more. Many songs with actions involve directions, helps them practice following directions as well as self-regulation and taking turns. Music is made up of patterns and counting, and dances often have a sequence of moves. Those are all concepts involved in reading too. Dancing is a great way to encourage active play, especially when you're stuck inside. Like any exercise, it can reduce stress, help cut down on behaviors. You can use songs, dances as transition activities as well. Making music, dancing is all about being creative and helps children express their feelings. Can be a good way to practice their feelings, like if you're happy and you know it. Dancing involves building both large and small motor skills. Building both of those is important in building literacy skills and for early brain development. Dancing builds muscles, improves balance, and works on crossing the midline. The ability to use both sides of the body together, like climbing the stairs. This requires both sides of the brain to communicate and coordinate movements. Playing drums with both hands, passing an egg shaker from hand to hand, or crossing the body with a dancing scarf all do this.
All right, and I think we have another little video here. This is just a quick little song that kind of demonstrates how we put all this together, singing and dancing and those great learning opportunities. So this is Jim Gill, who, if you're not familiar with him, is really fantastic because all of his songs are actually these little musical games. They're very fun. We have lots of his CDs at the library. We'll watch his little video here.
As I ascend, my arms extend, and I intend to stretch my body straight. As I elevate, the music falls, I'm getting small. I finally sprawl till I can move no more. On the floor, my body grows and grows until I pose on tiptoes. I am way up high, near the sky. Soon I sink, my size will shrink. I'm on the brink of bruising my kneecaps as I collapse. One last time I think I'll climb. This pantomime has surely been fantastic. Like elastic, my knees bend as I descend. This song must end while I am sitting down on the ground.
All right, that's My Ups and Downs by Jim Gill. So I think that little video showed a lot of the things we were talking about this whole time. You could feel the rhythm in the music through the kind of sound of the bass. So they're feeling that beat, and then they moved their body with the music. So the music itself went higher and they were stretching up tall. And lots of great vocabulary in there, right? Ascend and collapse and these like bigger words that maybe you don't say all the time, but they're singing them and hearing them broken down and doing the action with it. So that that's really helping children understand what that's all about. And I love how in that video you saw how parents or caregivers were dancing with kids of all ages. So even a little baby doing the motions of lifting and going through that song was fun and playful. And, it was a good one for just taking a stretch and expressing yourself, having that moment. And I love when that song ends, it seems like, ooh, that would be a great one to lead into like a time to read a story or have a quiet time or a circle time. Has a nice little transition to it. So Jim Gill's he's great and has more videos online too, if you liked him. And that is that is all we had today about the great things about singing and how that helps build early literacy skills.
You can find us on Facebook. We have an Every Child Ready Duluth group where we post library events, virtual story times, and early childhood resources.
Yes, you can join that through the Duluth Public Library's Facebook page. And we have the Duluth Public Library website has lots more resources, as well as the Every Child Ready Duluth website has resources more specifically for parents with young children and an opportunity to join our virtual newsletter, which you could get once a month and get more resources and local events and learn more about our partners.
Here are our names with our emails and our office phone number. If you wish to get in contact with us, we'd love to hear from you.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll check out our other videos and maybe see you at the library.
Bye.
See you later.